of my party people, welcome or welcome back. This is a great time for my channel. I have hit 100 subscribers. It has been a long journey for me and I appreciate each and every one of you that have been a part of it. Thank you for being part of this journey. I hope to be part of yours. It is a bit early in the morning, so we're going to celebrate with a cup of tea. So this has been one of those crazy weeks for me that I did not think that I would get some books in, but I managed to finish the 2 that I planned and add in some more. So it's been really good. I threw a party at my house, I went to a couple of bars, and I even did some trivia at the library. Came in 7th place, but you know what? It's all about the fun, and I'm about that, so that's okay. Okay, so this week I have a few products. As you know, I review products each and every week that I get the fortunate opportunity to test out. I have a few of those and some books. So let's get started. Okay, so the first product is a cocktail collection. Now, I need to be drinking some of these myself. But basically, it's these little bitty cubes. They come in different varieties. It's these little bitty cubes here. It's like a little tea bag. You put this in a little bit of a shaker, put some lemon, put some sugar, mix it up, and you got yourself a little cocktail. Now, I have tried this. Do I think it's better than just having the liquid mix? No, but it's pretty interesting, you know, if you want to make it simple, but I feel like trying to get that sugar consistency just is an issue for me. Now you have, this is called Camp Fare. It's basically one of those little meals that if you want to go camping and you want to bring all the different trappings that you need for ingredients, you can just take this. It's a little foil bag. I only got one. Can you believe that? Just one. And I ate that sucker and it was good. I didn't even get a chance to take a picture because I was so hungry. But this is chicken tikka masala. And it's pretty good. I had it over rice, which did not come with it. It was basically a sauce with a few little pieces of some chicken. But I enjoyed it. But you definitely gotta mix it up. Put some other stuff with it for a party meal. Now this product is pretty cool. This is one of those bag closer type devices. My friend actually gave this to me. But you pretty much take this little bitty piece right here and you slip it underneath your bag that you done folded. Got me some pretzels here. These are good. And you just slip it underneath there. Get it on. Oops. Just slip it underneath that little folded edge and slide it on through. Bam, now your bag is closed. You don't have to worry about all those clips. I like this a lot. Pretty good. And it comes in different sizes. I think I got like 3 or 4 that she gave me. But pretty good device there. Never heard of that before. That is all the products that I have because I want to talk about some books. Now, I have been reading, I spent most of my week reading this crazy book, Wild and Wicked Things. I got this from the library. This book is over 400 pages of nothingness. Now, it is set in the 1920s when prohibition is prohibiting alcohol and also magic because magic has been determined to be dangerous. And you have Annie who travels to Crow Island. I'm going to put this book down because it's a lot of light. So you have Annie who travels to Crow Island, which is known for a bunch of magical elements. And Annie is trying to settle her dead father's estate. And she rents a house next to these well-known witches who throw all these parties. And she is somehow drawn to this house as well as to one of the witches there. And she is also connecting with her friend B who lives on the island. And she hasn't seen her a long time. And while she's being nosy, she soon discovers that there is some connection between her friend Beatrice, and Emmy, which is the girl next door, and some of this chaos ensues. Now, I felt that this book was long and drawn out, and for the most part, honestly, I felt that it was boring. I kept waiting for something to happen. It wasn't until, what, page 291 when there was an actual kiss, when there was some hint at this attraction the entire time. And truthfully, I will say it was about page 275 that I just started skimming this book because I just could not take continuing to read this much longer. I felt that there was just a lot of in your head introspective thinking and back talking, and it just irritated me. I did like that there was talk about magic in different ways, about not only how it was dangerous and powerful, but about how it could help heal people and also do good things. I just felt that there was a lot of talking around in circles, not only about the magic, but in talking about the girls and their attraction and wanting to be together. But I'm like, when is it gonna happen? And speaking of magic, they're playing around with strong magic that they don't have any sort of experience with, and they're mucking it up, but they're continuing to make the same mistakes. It just got really annoying. It's like, girls, what are you doing? I just felt that there was a lot of things about this book that just didn't make sense to me. I was just overall just annoyed. If I can pinpoint any one thing to say about this book, I just felt that it just was a waste of my time. I felt that the language was just very intentional to just string me along, especially about the relationship potentiality of these women. And I would not recommend this book. I don't even want to talk about this book anymore. I just felt it was not what I had expected it to be, and I was let down. So let's go talk about another book. Now, another book I read this week is called The Union by Leah Vernon. Now, this is a NetGalley arc. I believe it comes out in October. Now, this is a dystopian reverse racism oppression novel that is set 1,000 years into the future, in which Black people are now in power over the Union, which is, I guess, like the former U.S. And there are several classes of people that are differentiated based off the melanin in their skin. So the more melanated you are, the more darker you are, then the higher up in the food chain you are. You're considered one of the upper residents. And the lesser melanin you have, like mixed race individuals, which there's not a whole lot of them, then the less pure your blood is and you're part of the lower class. The lower class of people are often victimized, they're given the less rations, they're controlled, and they have very limited rights. Now, this book follows two women. You have Avi, who is part of the elite class. She has the most melanin, she's a more pure blood, and she's actually in line to take over the Union. She starts to learn that not is all fair and equal in the Union amongst her citizens, as she previously thought. And then you have Sage, who is part of the lower class that has been oppressed her entire life, and she's actually an impure, which is the least pure blood, because she is very, very light skinned and should have been killed at birth, and she longs to escape and be free. So once these two characters meet, life, of course, becomes a whole new challenge for them as they struggle to figure out how to free the Union from these bonds. Now, I feel like this book is Hunger Games versus Divergent. A lot of those same characteristics throughout the book. I thought that this book was fast-paced, it had a lot of action, and it had a very minimalistic writing, so you got right to the action and didn't worry about a bunch of details that didn't matter. And it had so many elements going on. You had the reverse racism, you had colorism, you had violence, you had oppression. You have this disease going on. You have the government asking people that are being oppressed to fight for the government, in which they're not given any rights. Just this utter unfairness. I felt that this book was very relevant of what things are happening today. Even though we have this very diverse society, you still have a lot of racism and a bit of a hierarchy and class system within our current society. Maybe not as much as to the extent of this book, book, but you can see that correlation. But I also felt that that whole colorism aspect that still exists in the Black community to a certain extent is expressed very well in this book. I thought you had some really badass, strong female characters that basically did what they needed to do to survive. And if that means kill somebody and choke them out, then that means kill somebody and choke them out. And I can appreciate that. Not everybody's all good and not everybody's all bad. So you take what you get. I think that will to survive is definitely very strong, especially when you have nothing to lose. Now, this book is a complete story, but it did leave with an open ending, even though what you did have was satisfying. So you can tell that there's another book coming out, and I would definitely be here for reading that one. Now, yesterday, on a whim, I decided to go ahead and take a look at 3 books by a booktuber. Her name is Teal Veyre Picture Show. She also goes by the name of Jyvur Entropy and also Sylek Phantasm. She has several books, but there are 3 that are on Amazon Unlimited that I checked out. Now, they're short stories, so I read them just all in one day, but very interesting books. I'm going to link her channel below. Girl, I got you. So these 3 stories are all short. They're kind of straight to the point. They're erotica. They're all well written. They're strong, assertive female characters that dominate men. And they're entertaining good time. So the first book is called Abducted by the Alien Mad Scientist. And you have Giselle, who is driving along some long stretch of highway and decides to take a nap on the side of the road. And in his sleep, he is being asked by some alien to consent to abduction and experimentation. So he wakes up and his truck takes off and he is brought up into this spaceship where this beautiful pink alien basically does all these experiments sexually with him. Anal probe, gets his little semen specimen, all this other stuff. And you know, they have a good time. However, he did not read the fine print of his contract. The next story is Frosting the Abominable Snow Woman. Now, this is an interesting erotica story. So you have James, who is trapped in some sort of snowstorm because his idiot tail did not bring a coat and he is freezing. So he meets this 7-foot-tall yeti that has boobs as big as his head, and she keeps him warm and decides after their good time, maybe he should just stay with me. And then you have Breeding the Planet Woman. And you have Dr. Patel, who goes to some remote island to check on some colleague of his that nobody's heard from in a few months. And he meets these plant women that basically want to be fed with some liquid. And they decide that he should just stay with them too. So just some really funny stories. I enjoyed them. Teal, you have quite an imagination. I am here for it, girl. Well, that is it that I have today. I'm going to enjoy my tea and go tell my husband that I have exceeded 100 subscribers. I think it is solidified. So I hope that y'all have a great day, and I so look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.